Hi, this is MICORNUS, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. Once more, we are dealing with this topic that speaks about skills that will pay you forever. Skills that will pay you forever. And I'm continuing embarking on this topic, and I believe that you are learning out of it. The first two parts, we have dealt with different skills, but I want to embark on another further skills that will pay you forever. And the first skill that I want us to deal with today is ability to stay positive and to stay optimistic every day. Not an easy skill at all, because life challenges us. Life throws some curveballs, as I've said earlier. And life always throws challenges and problems towards us. And therefore, when you look at your situation right now, you'll find that your situation may dictate that you're going to be like that tomorrow. But I want to tell you now that your situation right now cannot determine your destiny. Remember that your tomorrow is not today. So therefore, your today could be actually your better tomorrow. So therefore, look at it this way, that sometimes we always get negative because of history, of things that we've gone through, because of our experiences in life, because you've seen difficulties in life, you've seen failures in life, then you think that you are a candidate of failure at all times. And I want to urge you as a young man that if you can learn, life changes. And that is why we don't have the same days every day. That is why we don't have the same day every day. That is why things change every day and they don't look the same. And I want to urge you as a young man that be positive about your future, because you will actually see a brighter future. I don't care what type of a background you're coming from, but that doesn't determine your destiny. That doesn't determine your future. So be positive about your future. But I want to emphasize that it depends on how you view your future, that your future tends to become. If you become negative about your future, therefore you are giving birth to a negative future. But if you become positive and optimistic, that infuses some energy in you, that brings some positive mind that will make you actually to look at things more positively going forward. And I want to urge you as a young man that please drive your mind to be positive at all times. Because the more positive you are, the more you shall see positive things happening into your life. There's nothing positive that will happen out of a pessimistic mind. So there's nothing positive that will happen actually in a mind that is negative at all times. Now, the more negative you are, the more you influence your energy to become negative as well. And you become actually very, very negative in your energy. You cannot actually push for anything. And sometimes people like that are negative at all times, they're forever depressed and they don't have energy actually to push things in their lives. But positive mind has got a tendency of pushing you even when it is difficult to do so. Because you always see positive in everything that you do. You always see success in every single thing that you do. But there are those people that will see negative and also failure in everything that they do. And that delays you as well. But I want to emphasize that as a young man, it is a great skill when you are able to become positive and when you are able actually to be optimistic in everything that you do. And that will actually, as I said, inject some energy in you. You'll find yourself actually be more energetic in doing things. You'll be more focused when you know that you're expecting positive results. Now, your expectations always dictate to what you will get. And I want to emphasize that when you expect positive things to happen, it gives you some energy to push and do things. And you'll end up actually seeing positive things coming through because you've got that energy to do so. And I want to also say there's another skill that will pay you forever, and that's the ability to make decisions based on facts, not based on emotions. Make decisions based on facts, not on emotions. Now, there are people that have actually found themselves in trouble because of emotions. There are people that have actually found themselves in prison right now, as I'm speaking, as a young man, because of your emotions, because of the feelings of that particular time. They make you to decide what to do, and you end up doing things that are foolish, and you ending up in an area where you don't want to see yourself. And I mean, you'll ask many young men that are in prison right now. Most of the things that they've done is based on emotions. They've killed the people because of their anger, which was an emotion that just came at that particular time. They've actually stolen things because of emotions, because they were actually, by that particular time, they were actually being tempted by emotions to do that. And many things that people have done in emotional state, they've actually regretted thereafter. But I want you to be a factual young man, a young man that thinks and process things in the mind. And when you do that, you are able to look at facts. But I always advise young men to say, if you want to look at things factually, you must actually allow yourself a space to think a bit more deeper. Allow yourself a pausing moment, a moment of break to say, I feel my emotions are actually pushing me. My feelings are pushing me to do this, but I'm going to withdraw from the situation just for a moment. And as you do that and withdraw from some situations just for a moment, it gives you a time, what we call cooling off period. Allow yourself of a cooling off period, because a cooling off period would actually be able to provide a platform of proper thinking and scrutiny to the facts at the point. There are many people that hate other people right now, not based on facts, but based on emotions. There are people that are planning evil against others just because of emotions, not facts. But when you look and sit back, sometimes you are going to see facts are going to present themselves a bit more differently. And I always say sometimes as a young man, when you give yourself what we call a cool-off period, you are able to look at people differently, because each and every individual, they've got two sides of them, the front face and the back side of them. So all this needs you to look at people more in scrutiny every time, and don't take it by emotions. Somebody might have offended you, but the very same people is still useful in many things as well. So don't actually fall for emotions only. Be able to look at facts on the table. And that will help you actually. You will be able actually to do things much more better when you know that you've looked at all facts together and you finalize and make conclusion based on facts, not on emotions. The other skill that will pay you forever is ability to speak in front of large audience. My favorite. And I must really say that people that are public speakers, they are able to actually conquer fear immediately, and they are able actually to open doors for themselves in different situations. Many doors are opened by ability to speak. And I want to urge many of you young men who have actually considered the fact that you're shy, you cannot speak in front of people. And it is possible, because it actually takes practice to stand in front of people. Initially, it is scary. But I want to tell you now that if you continue doing that, and without fail, you are going to gain more, because you are going to soon become a public speaker based on you pushing and practicing it to do. There's nobody who was born speaking to multitudes. There was nobody who was born being able to address audiences. There's nobody who was born being able to step up to platforms and speak. Everybody has learned out of it. But I want to tell you now that in the first moments, the first days that one tried that, it was a daunting task, everybody. And it was actually mixed emotions of shivering and fear. But I want to tell you now that the more frequent you do it, the more you become somebody who's able to address audiences. But what this does, it opens doors for you. Because people are actually attracted to people that are public speaking. People that are able to speak in front of audiences. Therefore, they become people that are being put on positions as well in life. If you realize, interviews are for that purpose as well. That most of the time before you get a job, you apply for it, they call you for interviews. And the purposes of interviews particularly is to see if you can be able to address people. And the first audience that you address are the very same people that are interviewing you, the panel. That if you are able to address them, you are actually giving an indication that you'll be able to address audiences going forward. And the more larger the audiences you are able to address, the more possibilities of getting a higher positions in your life. And I want to emphasize this as a young man, because it's very important that you don't actually fall into what you call shyness. and become bound by that spirit of shyness and find yourself not being able to come out of your cocoon and speak aloud and in front of audiences. So please rise up and be able to address audiences in life. Now, I want to also close by this skill today, ability to keep trying even after failure. That's a skill that will pay you forever. And majority of the people are quick to give up. They're quick to actually throw in the towel. They're quick to say, I cannot succeed in this. But I want to tell you, keep trying when you failed. Keep trying when you've not succeeded. Keep trying. And as you do that, you'll see that there's nothing impossible in this life. The more you try, the more you succeed. Try again. And some of you as young men might have failed your matric standards and your matric subjects, and you've given up and you think of not going on anymore. I want to urge you as a young man, try again. Please enroll again and try. Some of you in university, you might have failed some courses along the way, and you feel like throwing in the towel because it looks like nothing is happening. Keep trying, sir, and make sure that you keep pushing, because if you keep trying, you are going to see success. There are doors that are not opening until you bang them. There are some of the doors that are not opening until you push. So push until something happens. And that's very important in your life, because many times we give up much earlier on, and quickly so, and we lose out on opportunities because we've given up much more quicker. Listen to this. It is very important to have that patience and make sure that you are keeping on trying even after the failure. Remember that a success is brought by learning out of your mistakes. So therefore, when you have failed, it's an opportunity to look at it and say, this is another opportunity for me to succeed. And when you're failed, it doesn't mean that if you keep trying, you're going to fail again. It would mean that it's an opportunity to know that this is the way that cannot make it. You have learned another way of not going to make it. But then as you try with other ways and put in some more facts into it. So ask from people, learn as well, and put up a bit more effort when you try again with a different style of trying, and you'll see things will happen. It's not everything that when you failed that you should give up. And I want to emphasize that patience is virtue, and majority of the people that have learned to become patient in life, they've become successful at the end. They will tell you that I've tried this business. It was not easy, but I never gave up. And I kept on trying, and I finally succeeded in getting this business right. And majority of the business people will tell you that. And I want to urge you as a young man that you keep trying in your life. You will see success eventually. I want to end up here today, your host, PHOKANE. I hope that you've learned quite a bit out of this, and I hope that will help you as well. These are skills that will pay you forever. And please, if you hearken unto them, they will help you. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, PHOKANE, Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. Don't forget our YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to it. It will help you as you subscribe. And remember to click notification buttons on our social media platforms. You'll be notified when we've posted videos of this kind. Your host once more, PHOKANE, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm checking out right here. Please allow me to say cheers for now.